Okay, first things first. To update, you go to the settings, update, and then what you're going to do is press this button again, right? And that showed the version for the actual device. So now this is ready. We navigate to vmod.tceffect.com, and then we're going to select Connect Device. A little pop-up's going to come up here. You should see vMod Pro DFU. If you do not see this, come over here, click Need Help, View Instructions, download Zadig, launch it, and then you're basically, let me see here. All right, first things first, if nothing shows up, click Options, List All Devices. You're gonna select vMod Pro here, make sure this is set to WinUSB, and then click Install Driver. That's gonna run for a couple minutes, and then it's gonna be done. All you do is close it, come back to the programmer at vmod.tceffect.com, and then try connecting again. Make sure you refresh the page, and now you should see vMod Pro DFU there. Go ahead and click Connect again. It'll say Device Connected. Come over to Continue to Firmware Selection. Click that, and then when you're selecting the firmware, make sure you select 1.3.0 latest stable. All right, it'll say loaded, and then you'll just click Continue to Programming. And this will basically program, oh my bad, click Flash Firmware. And this will not take very long at all. And the reason that the preset is not seemingly working, I believe, is because that preset is from a later revision, and unfortunately there's been some pretty big, a fairly large amount of changes to everything, and I highly recommend you do this because it'll make everything quicker, and it fixes some issues with the bit crusher and stuff. So that'll install correctly, and it'll automatically reboot on its own, right? From this point, you can check what version you're on by going back to update, and you'll see there I'm on 1.3. So in the instance that this does not work, or you don't want to mess with the firmware update, you should be able to just get a pretty good effect. There we go.
Testing 1, 2.
So this is the current Vader setup. Since you've got the wave player working, you would just go into your Vader breath, make sure it's enabled. Set it to audio tail, because that basically triggers it after the audio you're finished speaking. And then I do a delay of 0, whichever.
So whenever I speak,
it'll play the audio. So have that set that way, and then basically come to your pitch. The pitch should be set to, first enable it by pressing this button. You see right here, it says bypass. If I hit bypass, it'll shut it off. If I enable, it's enabled. Make sure your pitch is set to -2 point something, depending upon your voice and how low you want to go. Also, make sure you come over here, you turn right onto format, and you turn it on, and set it to around 6 or 7. And leave the flutter alone. And that should be good on that page. So then come over to your chorus. Enable the chorus, set your rate to 0 and your depth to around 51%, and leave you can monitor, these should be the same, but if not, delay 75, feedback 21, and yeah, mix 100 on all those. So those are pretty much the 2 effects that you need. Once you've done that, come over to your presets and create a new preset. Type in Vader, save the preset, and that way when That way you can it'll be actually saved. Worst case, you can always just hold this button. I'm pretty sure you should have a default preset. If you just hold this button, it'll save over whatever is currently loaded. So if I just hold this button, it'll save over the Vader preset that I've already got loaded. If I just press it one time, it'll load it'll start going and loading the presets down the list. So see, that loads the Vader much more quickly on 1.3. Also a good thing to check is in your settings, the mix settings. Make sure if you receive yours with this type of speaker, which these are great, by the way, for like bass. But they also, you can turn the VMod up louder. So you can set your master volume to 100 and make sure your effects mix is also at 100, because that will make sure that you're not, it's how much wet signal versus dry signal. So we want the full effect of all of our effects modules. So we got it set to full. Mic gain, 1 is usually enough depending upon your situation. That's basically how loud the volume is for the mic input. Your gate threshold, this basically shuts the mic off when it doesn't detect audio. The threshold is how loud you want to be before it opens up the mic and lets signal into the voice modulator. So right now, it's not picking up me talking, but if I bring it
close to my mouth, now you can hear.
So that's that one. What else? Just the notch filter basically filters out any potential feedback. So if you have a frequency that's ringing out and you're hearing feedback in your speaker, you can enable this, sweep through until you find the problem frequency, and then turn the Q wider to cut the frequencies around it as well. And that'll basically put a little notch filter in your signal so that it chops out and attempts to prevent some feedback. So let's see. What else do we have here? That is pretty much it for the Vader setup. It's not really super difficult, honestly. Like it's a very simple effect. It's just pitch, -2, point whatever, depending upon the natural timbre of your voice. Form it to 6 or 7. And then some chorus. Rate 0, depth around 50%. Delay 75%, feedback 21%, and that's pretty much it. And you'll get a really good voice. If you have this speaker, I highly recommend you fixing or updating the 1.3 updating to 1.3, because the Bit Crusher, I fixed some issues with it, and it also helps with some sibilance in the voice, so it doesn't sound as muffled.
Testing 1 2.
It just gives you like more that you can hear the essiness or sibilance of the voice better with it. If I remove it,
testing 1 2.
It's there. It's just if you want your speaker to pierce through fabric or something like that, it helps add a little more sibilance. Overdrive's cool too for that. It'll make it a little more aggressive sounding. I don't know what I have this on here. Let me see if I can turn that down a little bit. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. I will show you the power of the dark side. So you can get pretty creative, and I highly recommend you just bounce around and play with settings and try and create something wacky or zany or experiment more than anything, because these effects processors are all the main effects chains for 95% of all characters in movies and games and things of that nature. So I potentially will add more in the future, and that's another reason why getting familiar with updating is great, because you can catch all the new updated stuff down the road that I release. So, but yeah, all of these effects, these are the ones that are predominantly used. So you can go crazy and really create some wild sounding stuff. But if you need any other help, don't hesitate to reach out, man. I'm going to try and do my best to get you to Vader.